I would say that there's nothing that's too small. There's really nothing that's too small. If you think there's a client you want to work with, you like it, you enjoy it, you should do it. There's nothing like small. You define your small, you define your big, right?
Hello and welcome to Superlawyer YouTube channel and yet another session with Meghna Khetrapal, who is international lawyer and is dealing with more than 50 country clients where she has immense amount of learning to share with our learners, and she'll be telling us how to deal with different variety of cultures, different variety of clients, and the kind of diversity she has learned over the years. But first, we have to understand from her, why did she choose the career of law? Because it has diverse opportunities, I understand. But looking at the years back, how did you prepare yourselves to get into NLU Bhopal? And what was your motivation to pursue the law career? Hi, Meghna, welcome to our show.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So, firstly, I'd like to say that when it comes to choosing law as a profession, it came to me naturally by virtue of wanting to be someone who wanted to solve a problem and was very fond of reading about how to provide proper solutions to people. I grew up in a family with a very strong academic background, and they always encouraged me to think about problems and enable a solution oriented approach. So that's how eventually it was law, because I did not want to be an investment banker. I was not great with maths. So that's the core of my practice when I started the profession, and that's the core of my practice even today. So that's really what I wanted to do.
Nice story to share from academic background to a law course. Amazing. And after completing your career as a law graduate, you started with a tier 2 law firm and then moved your way to tier 1 law firm like Shardula Merchant, Mangaldas and Company. What was the experience that you faced over there, kind of cultural shift in both the establishment, and what were the adjustments that you may have had to make while making this particular transition?
Yeah, so this is a personal background story that not many people know of. When I graduated from NLIU, I did not get into the tier one law firms. It's just that my interviews did not go as well as was planned. And, I was nervous, and it was a very human thing. And therefore, I started off with the tier two. But I think everything does happen for a reason. And I'm very thankful for my journey, the entire journey of being to a tier two and a couple of tier twos, and then moving to the better tier ones law firms. It's just been a journey that's happened for a reason. Now that I look back at it, it all just adds up. It's been the most perfect journey, and I would not change anything about it. If you were to ask me today, there's nothing about my journey I'd like to change. So when I graduated, all my friends were in tier ones, and I was, of course, happy for them. But at that time, you feel that sense of, oh, luck did not favor me. But in tier two law firms, when I was there, I experienced a lot of personal training. I experienced people paying attention to my work. Seniors were a little more approachable and relaxed. And that's also when I started my preparation for tier one. I joined a lot of courses in LawSikho. And then gradually, the preparation led to tier one, and that was a different experience in its own. There was a lot of exposure, there were a lot of international clients, and a varied work culture. So both of those areas have been full of learning. The experiences and the values have been different in terms of what I have taken away from both of them. But like I said, the journey was the journey for a reason.
Wow. So moving on from there, would you be interested in sharing any case which was very interesting for you while you were working in these top tier law firms, especially in the sector of corporate governance?
Actually, I think I've been very fortunate to be in a lot of very good deals where I've had a lot to learn. But if you were to talk about my work experience in terms of what I learned, I think I learned the most in Samvad Partners, in the sense that the training was very in depth and it was very they taught you how to think. It's irreplaceable, that skill. And I remember a particular bunch of cases that we did for a couple of venture capital investors where they were investing in different sectors in India. And just preparing the diligence reports required a lot of thought than what people generally think it is. It's not black and white. So that and the transaction documents. Then there were different types of transaction documents and different natures of transactions which I was exposed to. So I think it's difficult to pick up one case, but let me just say it was so perfect and so beautiful. I learned at every step of the journey. Actually, if you're in a fast paced law firm, you learn so much on a regular basis because you work with a different team. There's so much to take from there. You work with a senior, there's so much to take from there. You learn tricks. There's something to take from everyone. Tricks, as in, let's just say, how to handle a document better, even those tricks. So everything combined goes a long way.
So you get your treats, you get your tricks, and everything to learn from all these. Moving on from there, I would like to ask you a very regular question you must be facing. After working with these high profile law firms, cases as well, when did you decide to switch to freelancing? And recently, first of all, congratulations on completing and reaching 100K US dollars in just 14 months on Upwork. When did you decide to enter freelancing world, and what key learnings do you continue to uphold while working with these international clients from over 50 countries?
So it was January 2023, I think. Yeah, that's when Abhyuday and I were also talking, and Upwork was picking up. And actually, let me go back. This is interesting. So when COVID hit and the markets were down, at least for me, in a tier two at that time, I felt the wrath of it because there were salary cuts. There was so much happening. That's when I explored Fiverr. So this was way back in COVID. And at that time, I remember I did not have the money in my bank account to have an Upwork profile and buy connects. And I still give Upwork the feedback that you guys are expensive for somebody who's trying to begin their journey because you keep applying and it takes time to really crack the market. So I remember at that time it was so hard. I couldn't justify buying so many connects, and so I was only on Fiverr. And I did well on Fiverr. I was in Fiverr for about 2 months, and each month I made about 60 to 70,000 at that time. So for me, it was okay. Like I was happy. Then I thought, okay, let me explore. I had someone at that time who was a friend, and he also told me to explore at that time. So happened to get on that track, and then life just took a full circle with Upwork, with finally reaching out to Abhyuday when I was in a tier one and talking to him about how I feel like giving Upwork a real shot. There was something in me at that time that told me I was prepared for Upwork. And then I think I started Upwork January to August 2023. I was just recouping, I was just all over the place, nothing productive. And that's when I think August 2023, I told myself I need to get my life together. And that's when I started Upwork. Okay, so one more important thing when it comes to Upwork is that I was never attached to an idea of making 100,000 in 14 months or 12 months. I was out there genuinely enjoying what I was doing. And that is why I was doing what I was doing without any breaks or without any need for a break. I really liked it. And so the profile kept growing and it kept accumulating. And I told Abhyuday somewhere around September, October, I remember telling Abhyuday that, this is what I was supposed to do all this while. This is my life journey. This is what I want to do till I die. I mean, this is it. I love it. Okay. And that's how the journey progressed. And the journey has taught me a lot. Upwork has taught me a lot. It's taught me, even in terms of soft skills, it has taught me first that every project is not going to be perfect. I have had some not so perfect projects, and you learn to live with it. You learn to say that it's fine. Everyone has bad days. So that's just one important learning. And the second thing is that if you put out value, people will value you. So, like I said, I don't undersell myself too much on Upwork. It's not like I'm the cheapest freelancer there. Neither am I the most expensive, but I charge my worth. So, don't do something that doesn't make you feel good in the long run. Charge your worth and be reasonable.
Be reasonable, charge your worth. Amazing tags. Maintaining a constant workflow of projects and dealing with various clients all over the globe must be very tedious to you as well. How do you actually manage the same while balancing your personal life? We would love to hear that.
Okay, so number one, the trick to this is, okay, that's what I feel, and I was discussing this with Ramanuj also. You save time if you have a repeat client. So if you have a repeat client, imagine you don't have to pitch, you don't have to go out to someone and convince them of your abilities again. The same client hires you again and again and again. So you save on a lot of time and you just finish the work and give it to them and take them through the work, however it is. And you know their requirements, they know who you are. So it's a balance. So establishing a repeat customer rate makes life easier, saves you time, and therefore, you can take out some time for your personal life. I have three pets at home, actually. I have one dog and I have two rabbits. And I'm in the process of, hopefully, if everyone in the house agrees, they'll also have fish in the house. And I take care of my pets also. So there is a personal life. And it's how you save time by virtue of establishing a clientele, which will help you go a long way.
Amazing, amazing. So I would like to ask you, there must be various statutes and laws that you would have needed to research even before providing the advice to the clients because they are from different jurisdictions and countries. How do you actually prepare for such opportunities and what kind of strategies have you developed over the years to keep up with the new emerging trends because they are happening all over the globe? And you are practically working all over the globe. So, what are your strategies? Please enlighten us with that.
So, firstly, Divya, there are certain jurisdictions where my clients are based. There are client heavy jurisdictions. I have a lot of clients in the US, for instance. I have a lot of clients in Australia. So, those are two jurisdictions which I know I need to focus on. And secondly, there is a certain joy that I find in reading about a more, let me say, a more evolved law in certain aspects. Like now, when I read different laws, I see that there is a certain level of evolution that the certain areas of US have reached, and etc. So I find a lot of joy in that process. It's the joy of discovering something new. And it comes with practice, but it's about reading a little bit something new every day. That's it. It accumulates over time. You don't have to overwhelm yourself in 1 month saying I'm going to become an expert. There is no expert. I don't think there are any experts, global experts really. It's about learning every day. That's it.
So, what would be the advice given to younger self of yours, going back a couple of years, or in turn, inspiring the younger generation which is entering the law field? How to make this vertical of freelancing a success for them? Because for many, it has not been the similar success as you have had. Obviously, as told, you have already reached more than $100,000 on Upwork. So, what kind of advice would you give to these young learners who are entering this field and to your younger self, that younger Meghna, how will she prepare for this?
I think to my younger self, I would definitely say, please chill out, relax a little bit. Life's not going to end. And there's no one victory or one defeat which will define your career. That doesn't happen. It's your every day. It's every day that defines who you are. And there's no such thing as big or small. I remember when I had started working on Upwork, there were a lot of people who felt it's just not glamorous enough or whatever you want to call it, not their idea of success. So I would say that one, there's nothing that's too small. There's really nothing that's too small. If you think there's a client you want to work with on Upwork or on Fiverr, whatever your place of interest is, you like it, you enjoy it, you should do it. There's nothing like small. You define your small, you define your big, right? That's one thing. And second is don't undersell yourself because of a client. That's just something I've realized because what I feel is that, look, I have only 24 hours in a day. And it makes sense for me to define what I want to do in those 24 hours. Who is it that I want to be associated with in those 24 hours? And so I just like to have my own boundaries in terms of what are the prices I charge, or what is it that I put forward in terms of value. So you should define what keeps you in the journey for the long run and work as per those principles and put out value that matches those principles. And I think that's just the way of it. It's the interweaving of your values and what you put out and what you really think you deserve. So it's just everything put together, which culminates into a beautiful journey.
Thank you so much for giving us such beautiful replies without thinking twice. It has been a wonderful interview that we took today. And understanding is be yourself, don't undersell yourself, be true to your cause and true to the clients. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Meghna, for carving out time to give us this interview for Super Lawyer today. And it has been an amazing, humbling experience for all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you. Take care, Divya. Bye.